Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Habitual Line Crosser, and oh my gosh, Knox wants to say hi. Let's just, let me pause the music for you. Come here, bud. Come on. What are we telling everyone? Is ISIS? No, hey, is ISIS? No. Oh my God, dude. He knows. The second I start talking, oh no, it did it again. I don't know why my camera every once in a while just will not focus on me. So, what is up, everybody? How is everyone doing? You guys all got plans for Halloween? I will be unavailable next weekend, so this is the last stream before Halloween. I want to know what your plans are, and also, someone said that Iran is getting theirs right now, and OSINT on Twitter says so, so now I have to check. I want to see what they're saying. Let me see. OSINT Defender. Iran report hearing aircraft in the sky over the Iran-Iraq border. Okay. Huh. We will see what happens. Wait, what? Yeah, some people, y'all get information faster than I do. For Halloween, I will attempt to drink my depression away, if not dress up as a non-depressed person. Oh, it's interesting. I am dressed as a depressed middle-aged man. Middle age. Words are hard. Plan to dress up as the buff by being in the buff. Seriously? That's awesome. Gnome's Rule helping out at a Halloween party. Right as the World Series start, is the World Series on right now? I'm not a huge sports guy. Heard the U.S. Navy's going to add Patriot to the ship's missile loadout. Yes. So interesting you say that. I think it was 2023, 2022, somewhere in there. They designed. It's not really a new missile. It's the same old missile. It's a PAC-3 MSE, which PAC-3 Patriot Advanced Capability version 3 MSE missile segment enhancement. It's a little bit further reaching missile. There's some other changes, but they created a version called the RIG 360, which stands for Remote Interceptor Guidance 360. And in 2022 or 2023, they fired one off of an Aegis Ashore platform. Now they were trying to figure out how they could fit it in the VLS, the Mark 41, the vertical launch system on an Aegis. I think it's a Mark 41, but I'm not familiar with those. And try and see if they could shoot those out of an Aegis on the ocean. So I'm eager to see. So I know the radar can handle it. I'm not sure if the ship is designed for it yet. But yes, absolutely. Wanted to thank you. Helped me decide to enlist. Navy is wanting to do my job training. Nice, man. Congratulations. Hey, for real. Novan, I want to tell y'all, like, the military will... Uh-oh.
Would you intercept me?
Here we go.
I'd intercept me.
Hello from Alaska. Finally caught your stream live. Halloween is my anniversary. Married 8 years together for almost 17 years. Any ideas for what to do for her? We have a 3 years old.
Ooh, that's a wonderful question. Let me see. 8 years. Well, first of all, congratulations and happy early anniversary. What to do for her? What to do? Here's a decent one. Just shot in the dark. What you can do is write a love letter about all the first times you did this. Just, one page. Whatever you did, like make it from the heart, right? You write the love letter, and then you'll take that love letter and like make it written on like nice paper, and you glue it to like a piece of cardboard or something, and you'll cut it out, turn it into a puzzle, and put it in like a nice decorative box. And you give it to her, and when she's done, it'll be like take like 30 seconds to put the puzzle together. But when she puts it together, she'll be able to read the whole thing, and you seal it with "You complete me." Boom. Hashtag romance. I got you, homie. Homie the clown, thank you so much. I do the same thing every year for Halloween. Takes your son Ace. You have a son named Ace? That's awesome. Trick-or-treating, I'll set up spooky music and pass out candy to the kids and beer to the adults. And for that, I'm sure many, many parents thank you. Anybody want to explain why there's an F-22 shaped hole in my wall? So I will tell you, 1040 TV. Look, man, y'all got difficult names. I'm dyslexic, probably. I've never been like properly tested, but I probably am. And I would say that probably they wanted your buffalo style chicken bites and your monster. Mark 41 VLS is on the Arley Burks. Oh, see, hey, I didn't know that. I learned something. Sorry you're late. Nightfire, you're not forgiven. You are not. Did you guys all see that video from Frog something? The Muslim chick talking about how she has no sympathy for anyone in the military. And she's like, I hope you get PTSD and all this other stuff like that. And at first I was upset. And then I was just like, okay. I mean, you're doing a great thing there. You're telling us, like, this is the thing. Military members and Americans in general, we're stubborn. And if you tell us you want something to happen to us, we will do everything in our power to make that not true because of how stubborn we are. And I tell you, that's probably one of the best anti-veteran suicide advertisements I've ever seen. HLC is setting people up for them babies. Hey man, wasn't the worst recommendation I've heard. Hey, happy to oblige. Where's the kid?
I'm never too far away.
What'd you miss? So nothing crazy, Andy. Let me see. We had Knox was speaking English for a short period of time. Rain showed me that she could correctly disassemble, reassemble, and functions check an M4. I explained the blueprint of my perpetual motion machine. And you know, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So nothing much. It's one of those days. That's fair. That's fair. Your name is easy. I get it. Proud U.S. Navy veteran. You know, it's okay. U.S. Navy veterans, we know you participate in pride. I could not pass that joke. I'm sorry. It had to happen. I have two family members. Well, one retired and one is currently in the Navy. Have to. For Halloween, I'm getting on a plane and heading to Haiti to volunteer in a clinic. Oh, hey, that's good stuff, man. On the coastal border with Dominican Republic for a week. Hey, man, I've never been anywhere. Like, this is the thing, man. I grew up in Colorado. So, like, I was like used to the cold. Unfortunately, everywhere Uncle Sam has sent me has been hot. So, like, my first duty station was Carson. Fort Carson is not hot. It's also in Colorado. So, okay, that's fair. Afghanistan, hot. Fort Sill, hot. South Korea, mostly hot. It does get cold as hell there. And then back to Fort Sill, hot. White Sands Missile Range, hot. And now back to Fort Sill again, hot. It's an amazing idea. She loves puzzles. You're awesome. Well, I'm happy to oblige, man. Look, I am not responsible for any child support if you end up with a baby after that. So, I joined because I was tired of being that's fair. We need to bring back the Army of One doctrine. I will tell you, there are things that were good about the Army of One doctrine. There are things that are bad. And I think that as a military, we need to constantly look at ourselves and try and progress. But the problem is, and this is one of the biggest problems I have with the United States military, the U.S. military, by and large, with the exception of the Coast Guard and the Air Force, and Space Force, yeah, the other branches have been here a while, right? So 249, almost 250 years. 248 is the country, 249 is the Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. Just so you guys, fun history. So we have that long history of people doing dumb things, lots of dumb shit. And what happens is every time someone does something dumb, and every veteran will back me up on this, they put a new control in place. Well, hey, we're going to avoid DUIs, you're going to have to tell your guys every weekend they shouldn't have a DUI. It changes nothing. Safety brief is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. Never once has the purpose of a safety brief ever actually happened. Because the purpose of a safety brief is if they can't get you on anything else and you screw up, then they can still get you with failure to follow a lawful order from a commissioned officer. That's why the commissioned officer gives the safety brief, or a senior non-commissioned officer, first sergeant. Well, officers give lawful orders, NCOs give directs. Or maybe I got that backwards. I don't know, man. It's been a little while since I read that book. But anyways, but we have that many year history of people just screwing up. And we put a new control in place, and a new control in place, and a new control in place, and we have so many layers. I will tell you right now, you want to be the best sergeant major of the Army, or chairman of the Army, or secretary of the Army, you want to be the absolute best, Look at every process we have in the military and get rid of the redundancies. You will have the most efficient, trained, and qualified fighting force you will ever see. All the red tape we have to jump through is the reason why the Army sucks. Fight me. All right. Sorry, 12 years as an Air Force member. Thank you very much for your service, Looney Tunes. Been active duty, currently in the reserves. It's a nice gig. About to go guard. Nice. Picking up the Air Force trading cards. Hope you're doing well. Well, thank you very much. I am doing well. I got surgery in a couple weeks, but we'll get there. Hello from your friendly neighborhood war criminal. What's up, Wolfram and Weapons? We also got Katie in here. Give it up for the mods. That is way louder than I remember. Wow. If I didn't have asymmetric hearing loss already. Ugh. News on Sister Line Crosser. So she got the casts off of both of her hands, wrists. She still has like a hardened, like a brace on one of them. Can't really use her hands very much. Still getting all that stuff back, but she was able to she's in a new facility now, and they're teaching her how to stand up and sit down again. And she's, I mean, it's progress. It's progress. Absolutely. Scuba's in here too. Oh man, I didn't know Scoob was in here. Hold on, I gotta figure out where I was at. Every time I scroll down, it'll jump. I don't know why OBS does that. Thoughts on the likelihood that China will send troops to Ukraine disguised as North Koreans? I don't know. Because here's the thing. Anytime Ukraine gets any information about anything, they let the United States know. And the United States, we're the world police. I don't like it. Trust me, I would love to just be like America for Americans. Forget everybody else. Historically speaking, that is a terrible idea. Every time the United States has gone into isolationism, a world war started. Awful idea. We put ourselves in this position. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Anyways, so if they get captured or they get eliminated and they have documents on them, that will get back to the United States very, very quickly. And I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze for the Chinese at that point in time. I don't know. I will continue to look at the situation, but I don't know. For being a stealth aircraft, look, just because he's stealth doesn't mean he can go through the walls on his own. Highlander, my sister, she's doing good. She's doing good. She's getting there as best I can. Or as best she can. It's going to be still a long process. She's still in a wheelchair and... Yeah, can I sing the national anthem as Buff? Not the whole thing, but I'll give you part of it. I got to be able to hear myself. Oh, say, can you shut up, kid? See, I can't hit those high notes. I'm sorry. The dawn's early light. I can't even sing normally, and you're asking me to sing as one of my characters. That's what I'll give you, man. I'm sorry. That's what you get. Is an airplane that is really old and still in service kind of like the USS Constitution? I don't think so. I think the oldest plane we currently have in service is either the B-52, oldest design, or the U-2. I don't know which one came first. I'd have to probably Google it. It's a pretty simple search. Because the C-130 wasn't until the late 60s, early 70s. Off the top of my head, I have nothing to back that up. I remember seeing it in Air America, which was towards the end of the Vietnam era because they were fighting VC instead of NVA. I think so. Hey, Constitution. No. He's asking, he's asking, at least the way I read it, is there a plane equivalent of the USS Constitution? C-130 started in the 50s? You're fucking with me, Weapons. Hold on. Now I gotta Google it because I feel like he's screwing with me. I feel like it. Hold on. Damn. He's right. 1954. Buff was, I believe, 52. It started design in 50 or 49 or something like that. But yeah. Do I think that the Army has gotten soft when it comes to recruitment? No, not necessarily. You got to understand, recruitment is not necessarily just you need to be tough enough to join us. That's the Marine Corps motto. That's fine. The Marine Corps is a cult. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just the way they would work. But So for the Army, ours is like, hey, this is really cool. Look at what you can do. Like, you're trying to befriend people. So that's, I don't think it's gotten soft. I think we just look at it a very different approach. There was a study done. You know, what's interesting is the amount of injuries in the military and basic training and AIT has skyrocketed. And at first, like to a lot of the older heads, our first thought process is like, well, yeah, it's because they're weak. Yes and no. They're weaker. Yes, this generation is much weaker, but there was a study done. They have like 8% weaker bones. Their bone density is lower than previous generations. Now, this could be for many different things, but their bone density is overall lower.
Would you intercept me?
Wither!
I'd intercept me.
I fully agree with you with the red tape.
I'm telling you, that's all you got to do is remove some of that red tape, and the military will move mountains. It should not take me a month and a half to plan a range. It should take me an afternoon. Sorry, I'm just being real with you. Like, there's so much time going into planning and covering all your bases for controls. It's physically impossible. Like, training is so hard to do.
Would you intercept me?
I'm going to work my way down, but we'll get let Wither get in here again.
I will be scaring kids in the forest for Halloween, and I will be paid for it, of course.
Bro, I did that. All right, I gotta pause here real quick because I gotta tell y'all something. Okay, in Colorado, right there at the edge of Commerce City, there was the haunted field of screams or something like that, right? And I worked there for like 4 years straight while I was in high school. Loved the job, loved it. I love scaring people because I get to act, right? Ultimately, you're an actor, and you're not allowed to break character under any circumstances. You sign a waiver, you cannot break character. So, let me see, a couple of things. Number one, when I would work the exit, you pass the exit on your way to the entrance to the cornfield. So the exit guy is kind of the most important role. You give them a snapshot of what they're about to see. So they give me a chainsaw, cover me in blood, tear up my shirt, Jason mask. And by the end of the night, I've done so many sprints that I'm just like steaming because it's Colorado in October. I've chased people all the way to their car. I have made like 6 or 7 of them pee themselves. I made like two shit themselves, 1 near heart attack, and 1 girl ended up with stitches. Not my fault, okay? So the stitches thing. At the exit, they had those little green posts with the teeth on one side, and they had like little flags between them. And I was chasing, and she split off. I kept with the group, right? The rest of them, because the one that splits off is usually the bravest. I'm not going for the bravest. I want the chicken shit in the middle of everybody else. That's what I want. Anyways, so she busts off. I'm not even paying attention out of my peripherals. I have a mask on. And her friends, like, they get clear, and I turn around, and she had gone underneath the rope and face, like, dead sprint, face, boom, right into that pole, split herself open. And she was laying there, like, holding her face, like, blood pouring down. And I signed a waiver. I can't break character. So I, like, looked at her, like, chainsaw idling, looked at her, and just walked away. I felt like shit. I felt awful. But okay, I will tell you, and man, I hope this doesn't get me banned. All right, I have to tell this story. I should have told this on the unsub. I am not prejudiced in any way towards anybody. Well, I want to tell you that. But there's a pretty standard like scare tactic depending on what race comes through. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. Hispanic dudes, they like to try and fight you. They talk the most shit. That's just the way it is, okay? White people, it's like 50-50. Some of them run and scream like little girls. Other ones, they just kind of laugh at you. It's like a 50-50 thing. But black people. Okay, we're not allowed to break character. I'm reminding you, we are not allowed to break character. So there's a group coming through, and we only let them in groups of 5. This is a group of like 15. So they waited for the other group to catch up. So I know they are terrified. Well, so they're walking in front of me. I'm like 30 feet back in the corn, haunted corn maze. I have a chainsaw in my hand. It's idling, or it's not idling. Sorry, it was off. I got real good at like being able to drop my knee and pull the chainsaw and like fire it up as I'm running. And I waited. I knew the brave ones are in front and they're in back. I know the scaredy ones are in the middle. So I'm waiting. And right as they start to pass me, I come like sprinting, like growling through the corn. So that's all they hear. And then right as I hit the edge of them, right at the edge of the corn, I fire that chainsaw full tilt. Okay. This is the only time I ever broke character. All right. A bunch of them went that way down the corn. A bunch of them went that way. down the path. Sorry, the path was like this. Bunch of them went that way. Bunch of them went that way. The rest of them fell into the corn. Okay. So I'm doing my job as a scarer, as an actor at a cornfield, corn maze, and I'm standing over top of them, revving my engine on my chainsaw and just, scared them. This poor woman. She was probably maybe 120 pounds. Maybe. She was tiny. And she was laying in the corn, like trying to get up. Her boyfriend, brother, I don't know who, large gentleman, probably 6'2", 6'3", maybe 250, big guy. He's getting up and like he's pulling his pants up and he's like trying to get away from me, right? She has a hold of his pant leg, like help me up, help me, I'm terrified, help me. He turns, knocks her cold and runs away. I dropped the chainsaw. I was laughing too goddamn hard. How do you maintain character in that situation? I felt bad, but I've never seen a grown man so terrified that he just cold cocks a poor woman like that. Like I don't know how to feel about that. But anyways, yeah, sorry, that was it. I loved working at that corn maze. I loved that job. But anyways, all right. Co-worker friend of mine announced he's joining up and ships off for basic in August. He'll be a fister? No shit, 13 fucks. Hey, tell him be good at ducking and be damn good at calling for fire. I am live. Would you be willing to make a Halloween special? Oh, damn it did it again. Oh man, I may have gone too far. Maybe. Would I be willing to make a Halloween special where Buff tells the story about the thunder screech? It's actually not a half bad idea. I'm gonna put a mental note on that one. I need to find a reason to use the thunder screech. Yo, HLC forgot me. I'm sorry, Patriot Alpha. You got some horns too. Did you see the post I replied to you about the red light therapy for Sister Line Crosser recommended? I did not see it. I'm so sorry. James, I haven't had it. This week's been. It's been a week, bro. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm so sorry. Oh, Teal's here too. You guys just ignore Teal. One of my mods can just ban Teal for a little while. Teal, I thought you'd be playing Black Ops with Reaper, man. I might play tonight if I don't know. We'll see. I still got another video to put together. Enjoy Japan singing. The hits need more ideas. Trust me, there's plenty of like sun jokes that can be made about that. Looking forward to the Israel-Iran video next because Israel just attacked. Did they? So I've heard rumors about it. I looked at OSINT Defender. I have not seen anything confirmed. I'm sure we'll get more details. Can we talk about how much of a tank the F-15 is flying with? Oh yeah, well it's because the missile hits and can still fly holding multiple speed records. You know why, Matt? And I'm not being a smartass. Why did I go to like 1 frame per second? I saw it on my OBS camera. You're messing with me. But
would you intercept me?
We're gonna let Wither play and then I'll get back to you, Matt.
Is there any tips for military? Because the city I work at has a deal with the Naval Air Base in Fort Worth, so they get to go in for free.
Ooh. It really comes down to the individual. I will tell you, if they mouth off, like if you're scaring people and they mouth off and they're Filipino, roll out, dude. The Filipino mafia is alive and well in the United States military. Them like 3-foot dudes will fuck you up. Like it's nuts, man. That's about the only advice I can give you. So the F-15, interesting enough, is one of the few aircraft that the United States has that has a thrust-to-weight ratio of greater than 1. What that means is without any lift provided by wings, it can still go, which is the same principle a rocket flies under, with the exception of like a cruise missile, okay? So like rockets and missiles don't have lateral surfaces that produce lift. A cruise missile does, by definition. It has lateral surfaces that produce lift because of its flight profile. Fun fact about cruise missiles. Anyways, but yeah, an F-15, at least stripped down, I don't know how it can do with too much munitions. It's literally a rocket with wings. I like the F-15. I really do. I don't know enough about it, aside from the 104 and 0. Made a total 35 days without. Hey, congratulations, Rodney. You gotta start somewhere, man. Little stuff here and there. Always look forward to your content. Makes me smile through the hard days. Thank you, Rodney. Dead serious, man. Like that's awesome. It takes a lot. It fucking takes a lot. You just got to remember who's in charge, you or what's in your head. I mean, and that's easier said than done. It's the best advice I can give you, man. To answer your video title, I'm going as Ewan McGregor. Oh, hello there. Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber included. I got my lightsaber back there that was sent to me by. It's gonna drive me nuts. Oh my God. I remember the conversations we had. I remember him talking about it. I cannot remember his damn name for the life. I'm terrible with names, guys. You got to understand. I'm awful with names. I will remember a face until the day I die. I cannot remember names to save my life. My plan for Halloween is just order pizza and eat some candy. We just bought candy tonight, and are we going to give it out to kids? No. We're going to eat it all ourselves. We actually just had pizza too, because it's a work day, but sister invited me to a party the day after Halloween. I'm going to dress as the Mexican artist Frida. Oh, sorry. That was the actual thing. I don't know why I laughed. I expected the rest of that sentence to be very different than like, oh, the Mexican artist. That's on me. I take that. People saying we need a KC-135 character. I need to involve a tanker. Look, this is the thing. You guys, look. You need to convince Mrs. Linecrosser. I remember I have a character for her. She sat over there in that corner. I recorded my portion, and I was like, all right, it's your turn. I'll sit here quietly. This is what you need to say. 20 minutes. She didn't hit record once. I sat there quietly. I looked away. I did everything. I was like, I'll leave the room. Whatever you want. I will do that. She just will not do it for me. Don't drink because you're depressed. It'll only make things worse. Big facts, Katie. Big facts. Yeah, alcoholism runs in my family. That's why, like, anytime I find myself sitting there and I'm like, man, I really want a beer or I really want a drink. Second I get that feeling, I'm like, cool, not drinking for a month. I just cut myself off. Like, that's immediate, like, nope, not touching a drop. SEALs tried a few years back, gave up their first hour of waterboarding. Oh, no, thank you. McCamey Manor. No, I don't. This is the thing. I don't do. I work at a haunted house. I'll do that. I don't go through them. Are you nuts? This is the thing, guys. Y'all like, man, he's in the military. He's tough. I am a bitch. I don't do spooky shit. My wife won't. She can't even get me to watch like spooky movies. I don't do spooky. I mean, I'll do zombie movies and creature features, but that's about it. Just week and a half till you start doing green screens from the Oval Office. I can't believe somebody like. I'm like flattered that someone would vote for Franklin and Buff. Like it's really an interesting thing. It's very flattering, but at the same time, like, what does that say about the state of our current political system? All right, I got to try and catch up here. If I start doing it from the Oval Office, I'm bringing out like a Bill Clinton character. I mean, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. So, I mean, I got to work on it, but we're getting there. I'll bring out a Bill. What was it? Not Bill. Bring out a George Bush character. Kinda, get me my coins. I don't know. This all needs work. It's all a work in progress. Okay. Shout out from No Dak. I don't even know what No Dak is. North Dakota. Took me a minute. Brain. You could see it working in real time. I live near MAFB. I'm not familiar with Firebase. I don't know what that acronym is. I'm so sorry. Helps TBI. YouTube will have info. What about TBIs? I'm so lost. The wings on an F-15 are to maneuver the rocket. Thoughts on should let the military let NCOs become COs and remove the college requirement to become an officer? No, I don't think so. And here's why. Okay. That's a great question. The reason we need the division, and I even think weapons will back me up on this one, is NCOs, we operate in the area of this is where we are, And this is where the commander wants us to be. That gray area, that is our bread and butter. That is exactly where we operate. Now, I'm not talking any trash, right? Like that is where we are. Commanders decide where we need to be, and they assume the risk of the decisions in between now and there. Like that's literally like doers assume risk. That's all they do. They just, yes, I assume the risk of making that decision. That is entirely it. I don't think we should ever do anything like that, because like if for anyone who's ever like been in, I'm not talking trash, Blue Jay, but like if you've been in the military, it's a really, really good, like if you have a good command team, they feed off of each other. First sergeants, like I think the Air Force calls them first shirts. Their job is like bullets, beans, gasoline, the who, what, where, when, like the personnel management, med pros, like making sure your guys are up to date on all their shots, like all that shit. Like that is their bread and butter. Commanders are like writing that op order, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to make it work like this. And so that division of labor really works. And I had a great command team in Afghanistan because I had a commander, great guy. He would freeze up. Great planner. He planned like nobody's business. His op orders had just every contingency you would think of covered. Like they were beautifully written. Something would happen that wasn't written. He wasn't very good about thinking on his feet. Nothing against him, but that's when the first sergeant will reach over and grab the radio and be like, all right, I had 5 units, I need blah, 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 and just starts making things happen. And that is how you get a really, really good command team that feeds off of one another. Weapons goes and holding annoying meetings. Yes. I've had a meeting to prepare for the meeting. It's called a QTB, a quarterly training brief. Actually, it was 3 meetings to prepare for the meeting. I would rather, never mind. All right. I'm ordering wings. What do you want to replace these missing? Ooh, I'm a garlic parm guy, but I also like buffalo. Maybe like an Asian zing. Yeah, but mainly garlic parm. Why not an Abrams tank character? I have had the Abrams once. I don't even remember. I don't think I made the character like very iconic. And that's the hard thing for me, is because I want, like, there are tankers that want me to make a tank character, like an Abrams character, and they want me to make it iconic and like capture them. And that's so hard to do everywhere with every single character, because a lot of them, there is overlap. Like with that old school, like I'm going to destroy everything mentality, there are more than a few aircraft that give me that vibe. But Grandpa Buff got that title. So you need more B1 Heath Ledger. There's a wiki about me. I wanted to see if there was like hater pages. Like I'm curious. I wanted to be like, find somebody on like Reddit. HLC sucks. This guy's not funny. And but then I could like comment as HLC and just be like, yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't like him either. Unfortunately, he's too much of a wuss to just self-delete. Anyways, yeah, I said the funny. Sister HLC Spa Day. It's on the list. I can't say, so don't take it personal, guys. And it's a lot for my safety. Saying when I'm going somewhere, if I announce it, it's because I want people to know that I'm there. And if you want to, if you see me, if you ever see me anywhere, come say hi. Like that's just the nature of it. But for my safety and my family's privacy and safety, I don't always, announce when I'm going somewhere. But I am going to visit Sister Line Crosser. I've already got the tickets purchased. Flying to Washington, fucking expensive, folks. What's up, Missile Man? What is up, Arthur? F-15, only fighter to shoot a satellite out of orbit. Yeah, but then Aegis did it too. Like, the more I learn about the United States, what's the name of that rocket? I had it written down. No, not the Aster missile. I don't know what it was, but we've made everything nuclear. Surface to air, nuclear. Air to ground, nuclear. Surface to surface, nuclear. Artillery, nuclear. Manpad, nuclear. Air to air, nuclear. Like we've made everything nuclear. God bless America so much. MAFB is Minot Air Force Base. I did not know that.
Would you intercept me? I'd intercept me.
Last one of the night before I have to get back to making my hiding nest. What theme would you think would do the best for fear? I'm not going to do the chainsaw since Terry's already someone doing that.
Again, it really depends on the individual, and I'd have to see the area you're working with. Being able to move around a lot, like movement scares people, especially in dark, poorly lit areas or quiet areas. If the area is loud and there's lots of motion, you need to be louder. That's what I've learned kind of freaks people out. If the area is quiet and still, you need to be almost as quiet, but enough that they know something is there. Like that's what gives people the heebie-jeebies, because not everyone is easy to jump scare, and jump scares are, whatever, cool, blah, like that's not memorable. But moving around them and making noise around them or sneaking up behind them, like those are the things that really stick with people and creep them out. So that's what I would recommend. KC-135 character catchphrase, no one kicks ass without me. I like it. I thought, no, it's the 10s. It's the 10s, they just need... Mrs. Linecrosser says you need to go for something loud and fast, a zombie creature or something you can't reason with. That is her recommendation. I was like, didn't they just retire the KC-135 as the KC-10? Or maybe I have that backwards. Look, man, I don't know everything about everything. I'm trying. Hold on. All right, where about it? See small dog sleep in big dog's bed. Yeah, Nox is weird. He like the smaller the bed, the more he thinks he can fit into it. Please tell me you will meet JD Deli. Deli? I don't know who that is. I'll write him down. Maybe there's... I'm going to put a question mark next to that one. Warhound goes, I'm surprised you have much passion for Air Force. Honestly, I and this may be just from the outside looking in, I feel like, this is going to hurt a lot of people's feeling, I feel like aircraft, because they're so relied upon, similar to tanks, they have a lot of character. Like my tank, Delta 11, Divine Intervention, she did not like to start when the weather was nice. Every other tank and battalion would fire right up. Mine, every single time, I'd have to jump start it. But when it was freezing, mine was the only tank that would fire up in the entire battalion. Nobody else's would fire up. She loved the cold weather. Like, so it's an interesting thing. And I from what I've talked to aviation guys about, is like that their aircraft are very personal about things. Just turned 24 today. You already feel old, bro. I'm 34. Don't you do that to me, Bjerb. F-22 stealth cannot be seen on radar. F-15 stealth is when the enemy bury their planes and hides them in bunkers because they're too scared to fly. You're not wrong. I bet if somebody, like if obviously you could do it without getting murdered, like rolled around the deserts of Iraq with like a metal detector, you would find aircraft still. I guarantee there's still some buried. And munitions and whatever else. Probably IEDs too. You were never in the military, but heard stories of NCOs of new privates. Never understood how stupid adults can be until you became a manager. I totally understand that, Devin. But here's the thing, and this is the main difference between being leadership in the Army and being leadership in the civilian sector. If you're a manager and one of your people that works for you gets a DUI and gets incarcerated, it's like, okay, they didn't show up for work. Like, no one calls you, no one lets you know. In the Army, you get that call at 3 a.m. and you have to go pick them up. And then you have to do paperwork most of the night. Oh, Wither sent an image of where he'll be set up? Wither, did you DM me on? I don't have my Discord open, man. I'll link, if it's in my Discord, I'll link up with you. Or maybe it's in somewhere in there. One of my mods, get that to me if it's in there, please. I don't have time to jump over there. I already got 2 windows open. Concerning the drones over bases, logistical, how hard would it be to load a pallet of Roman candles? I don't know if Roman candles would cause the damage we would need to take down drones. It'd be fun. Drone defense is like the top of the US military's like priority list. And until we find a way to just win every single time, we'll not stop developing systems. Whoever comes out with like the best ever drone defense that can handle any situation, the U.S. military will buy that from you and use it for the next 50 years. HLC-1 aircraft would been good for be the F-14. I haven't listened to the B-2 Boogie Woogie yet. It's he sent it to me. Warrior Shaman. Well, that's one of his names. But yeah, he sent it to me here. He tagged me in it on. I think Phoenix just sent me the screenshot. Damn, Phoenix, he on it. All right, I got to check this real quick, and then we'll continue. All right, so Wither, if you're still with us. If there's not water under the bridge, I think moving up the side of the bridge, depending on the people, would be really good, depending on how spaced out they are. Climb a tree, move as they're approaching, go, like, because they'll probably be able to see the walkway, go across the walkway while they're far enough out, like just run across the walkway, because one of them will see it. Maybe two of them will see it. And everyone else is going to think they're full of shit. It's great. It's a really good scare tactic. I like moving around in the distance from people before they can acquire any information about you. That's what I would say, Wither. But yeah, I've not seen the B-52's Boogie Woogie yet. I need to check it out. Or I haven't heard it yet. Make a tank. I don't care whose tank, but make a tank. Mater off of cars. Careful of Disney, but do what you can. Now I got to make a tank character. But there's still, Rob wants me to make a Humvee character. I kind of did. Yeah, ish. I should do a vid on Atomic Annie. She's parked out here at Fort Sill, like the actual Atomic Annie. Fun fact about that. So Atomic Annie, if you ever watched the Fat Electrician's video on it, the entire time Atomic Annie existed, they didn't know where she was. It's really interesting how that happened. So they had two guns, these artillery pieces that fired atomic shells. They made two of them initially. One of them was called Atomic Annie. The other one was called Sad Sack. The video you see of them firing the atomic shell is actually Atomic Annie. It's pulled by two trucks, one semi in the front and the back, like Nick says, a war crime sandwich, right? So they made these two things and they're like, all right, we're going to send Atomic Annie overseas. And they built like 7 or 8 more of these things and they're huge. They weigh fucking hundreds of tons. Maybe not hundreds. I don't know how much they weigh off the top of my head, but they're huge. Like they dwarf me standing next to it. I'm 6'2". But anyways, and they kept Sad Sack here in the US. Well, what does the US always do when something runs out its life expectancy? We just tear it down. We don't, because it's expensive for us to bring it back here, so we just tear it down. So we're like, all right, well, you know, we'll tear down Atomic Annie and we'll keep Sad Sack back in the United States. All right. And then it sat there for a while and then someone went to like use it for a museum and they checked the serial numbers and they're like, this isn't Sad Sack. This is Atomic Annie. And they checked it, and throughout the entirety of Atomic Annie's life, they thought she was overseas. She was in the States. And they had taken apart Sad Sack overseas. Interesting fact about that. Put on the sunglasses? Which sunglasses? Where am I? I think my American ones are packed away right now. I'm sorry. Say in the F-22 voice. I'm flying to... Sorry, I gotta be able to hear myself. I'm flying to France and then to Germany, then Poland, then Ukraine. And then I'm going to Russia to do things. You just kind of ended on the two, so I improvised. There are a lot of stuff in the dirt near Al Assad. Oh, big facts. Big facts. Going to Sister Line Crosser probably means SeaTac. I don't know if I'm flying into Sea... I gotta check. Bummer if it were Portland. I'm not flying into Portland. Portland is a cesspool. My sister lives in Portland. That's why I can say that. I have another sister. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. My dad couldn't pull out of a driveway. Okay? Like, it's insane. Israel's attacking Iran right now. Yo, Phoenix, if you got that, man, I could use some details, because if you got any reports, I will gladly accept. I will read them live here on stream, so that way you guys get them. Oh, we're not talking about the Israeli airstrikes right now. I'm trying to read into it. I don't know anything about it. It just, like, it's the second I went live, somebody's like, they're attacking right now. Israel, you couldn't let me have one stream, bro. I mean, I did have like 2 other ones, but yeah, it's fine. Your mom is an NCO. She forced her airmen to come to our house and study. She was an OBS NCO. I mean, there are many ways, and this is something I've learned in my experience in the military, right? And I can say that I've been doing this for 15 years. When I became a young NCO, I thought, you treat all soldiers the same. And to a point, yes, that's true. But as I continue to progress, I realize you can't do that. You have to understand people's strengths and weaknesses. Number one, when you get to an organization, you need to figure out who's going to break the rules. The rule breakers and the E4 Mafia can be your biggest asset or the biggest liability. It's really up to you. The ones who are rule followers, you know when to use them, where to use them, and how to use them. There are some people that when you get loud, they get motivated, they get quiet, and they do the job. There are other ones that when you get loud, they freeze and shut down. And you need to talk to them in the right way. So there are many, many approaches to leadership. And I try and, I'm not perfect at it. No one's perfect at leadership. And so what I'd say is definitely there's many approaches. And depending on how she was with them, and I'm sure that there's things that I would disagree with your mom about how she did. And I'm sure that there's things I do that she would disagree with. That's why there's so many approaches to leadership. Best don't touch the boat story is definitely Theodore Roosevelt's. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. Oh my gosh. It did it again. It did the poof. Your boyfriend and you love my videos? It's always me. Oh, always? Is that always, right? It's always me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love that you guys love my videos. SF Mike Foxtrot, what's up, my dude? Tomorrow the 60s drop? I gotta check it out. Haven't had time yet, man. I'm so sorry. Solution for drone defense, offer Marine free Crayola for life. I will tell you, in the right application, hanging something over someone's head will get you the best results. Like for those rule breakers, my E4 Mafia, a bad NCO tries to control the Mafia. A good NCO tries to leverage the Mafia, at least in my opinion. And the Mafia, some units is bigger than others. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the E4 Mafia, so once you become a sergeant, E5 in the Army, enlisted rank 5, grade 5, and above, you're a non-commissioned officer. There's a lot more eyes on you. You can't get away with as much stuff. E4 and below, they get away with a lot more because, I didn't know sergeant, I'm new, right? So your E4 Mafia, they're that last rank right before they become a sergeant. So they've been around a little while. They know what right looks like, but they can also still get away with shit that I can't. So if I'm missing stuff and I need to go to the field, I'll be like, hey, I need a new seatbelt for my Humvee. I'm going to go inside and do paperwork. When it appears and is installed on my truck, you guys get to go home. I'll have 15 new seatbelts inside my truck when the E4 Mafia gets to it. They will steal everything. A good NCO knows how to use it. You just bought my merch. Thank you so much, my dude. 100% of those proceeds go directly to my depression. I don't know. I do want to do some fundraisers here in the future. I just haven't had time. And you guys don't have to do anything. It's just, I like interacting with you guys. I really do. Mike did a good job on the music videos. Nice. Is the home to the Buffs and Minuteman 3s. Ooh, my house is going to slide to the side and reveal silo. What's funny is I worked at Fort Carson for 3 years, and Cheyenne Mountain's right there. This is before I really knew anything about Cheyenne Mountain. Fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this, back in the day when Cheyenne Mountain NORAD got put there, it's moved somewhere else now. The Cheyenne Mountain complex still exists, but it's been moved. When it was put there, they put Fort Carson right at the foot of that mountain to protect it. That's part of Fort Carson's job. It's written way, way, way old stuff. But anyways, so we, I told the guys that I work with, if I'm ever just sitting there and I see the ground, or I feel the ground shaking, and I see rockets and fireballs start coming out of the top of that mountain, I'm just going to go back to the barracks, crack open a beer, put a lawn chair there, and just wait for the flash. It's over for everybody. There ain't nothing I can do at that point in time. That's obviously before I knew anything about missiles and missile defense. Y'all should get the guy who owns Fire Monkey Forge. So I have no control over who gets on the unsub, but I'll pass it to Eli. Why do I know No Panic Button? I feel like I know that person. Don't do your dad like that, bro. I'm telling you, man, my dad, he'd probably have a couple more if he didn't get that the old snip. All right, I think I'm caught up. Can't really talk, Hill Air Force Base. You said that's morbid. I mean, like, a nuclear war, like, okay, so people ask me often in my comment section, they're like, hey, if we get into a nuclear war, how well prepared are we? And the answer is pretty simple. We're better prepared than everybody else, but that doesn't mean we're going to survive. No, that means that we'll probably be able to see them burn slightly before we do. Like, it's a world-ending thing. There's nothing that anyone's going to be able to do about it. The amount of nuclear weapons that exist in this world, like, this is the thing. Russia has like 5,000 of them. The United States has like 2,700, 3,000. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Realistically, UK has about as much as you would ever need. They have like 200 of them. After that, it's kind of a moot point. Like, Russia's like, we detonated the biggest nuclear bomb ever, the Tsar Bomba, which is like 50 megatons. Fucking huge, right? You can't get it anywhere. It weighs too damn much. It's too damn big. Like, I mean, it's cool you did it, but like, can't do anything with it. From the wife, where the hell is my Franklin plush? I'm not saying anything. It's in the works. Mrs. Linecrosser didn't hear that. She's probably in here lurking right now. Can I make the F-22 meet some World War I planes? I would have to definitely do some homework on World War I planes, because I don't know too much about them, with the exception of the Polikarpov PO-2, which is a Russian aircraft. That the only reason I know that one is because I did some homework on the Night Witches, the 588th Soviet Night Bomber Regiment. I will check. So, okay, let me check out. We got Israel Defense Forces confirm the start of offensive operations against Iran. Ooh. And the first comment is like, everyone stands with Iran. No, they don't, dude. Was watching the new unsub on Pepperbox today, talking about the Gang Does videos and doing hide and seek. Gang does golf. Look, this is the thing. I like golf. I'm awful at it. I'm terrible at golf, but I really enjoy whacking the shit out of those balls, losing them, and then driving the cart drunk. I'm really good at those parts. Like, I enjoy the shit out of that, but I'm terrible at golf. Tell you what, I'll text those guys. Next time I go down there, I'll be like, let's go play golf. Let's do Gang Does. I'd love to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun, honestly. I'm terrible at golf. I just want you guys to know, like, no one is going to be impressed by. I think the last time I did a round of golf, I shot like a 137, which if you didn't know anything about golf, that means that I'm probably mildly mentally handicapped with a shot like that. Like, it's not good. It's really not good. Did I say double entendre? I'm sorry. Besides being a gamer, do I watch anime? In certain aspects, I watch a lot of mainstream anime. Like, I really enjoyed like the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I did watch the movie Appleseed once, DBZ back in the day, but I don't watch like a lot of spin-off stuff. People have told me over and over and over, I need to watch Gate. I found it. I have yet to watch it. I'm so sorry. The best defense is good offense. Yeah, wouldn't Russia have to get a nuke off the launch pad to pose a threat to us in nuclear war? I mean, the funny answer is, yeah. The realistic answer is they could nuke themselves into oblivion, and the fallout would eventually, like... Look, I'm not a nuclear physicist, but would probably just, like, envelop the Earth or crack the crust or something crazy. Like, it would just do nutso stuff. You're terrible at golf, but you love it just the same? Atla is not anime? What is Atla? The German World War I aircraft were ahead of their time. I did do some research on the Red Baron at one point in time, but now I can't even remember which country he was fighting for. You need a DCS wingman? Bro, I have DCS. I fired it up once. Couldn't figure out how to start the aircraft, and then I uninstalled it. This is the thing, man. I don't have the time. Like, I've been playing this game. Look, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all, I play menial games. I like menial tasks. You know why I like Star Citizen? Because I like mining, shipping, and scrapping. Like that's what I do in Star Citizen. So lately I've been playing one called Eating Crafters. It is Factorio meets Planet Crafter, because you're trying to terraform a planet, but you have like conveyor belts going. Like you have to build a base here because these resources are here, and then you have to have the conveyor belts going through this thing into this thing to make iron bars, to make steel poles, to make gears, to make like it's fun. It's like $17, and I went way off on the TISM lately. I was playing that with a couple of friends, but now I'm probably gonna play some Black Ops 6. Atlas, an anime just done by another country than Japan. Oh, did you guys know? And I watched one episode. It was okay. I haven't really watched much more of it. They made a Ark TV series, like Ark Survival Evolved. So it was pretty good. Let me see. Holy smokes! I start fussing with my truck and I miss out on everything. How y'all doing? I'm doing good, Daryl. How about yourself, man? I'm doing really, really good. Apparently the unsub house is haunted. Damn it! Don't tell me that! Y'all don't understand, man. Like, I ain't scared of nothing that lives. But I can't shoot a ghost in the face. I don't do spooky stuff, man. Damn it. I'm cuddling with Trout. You hear me, Eli? I'm cuddling with Trout next time I come down there. Is it time for Protocol 4? It is time for Protocol 4. Ooh, watch him. Oh, he sees me reaching for the bag. I'm going to put my hand back. Oh. You beat ghosts with fire. I'm going to put a salt line right at the base of my door. Planet Crafter is GOAT. It is good. It's a lot easier with a team. Since they made it co-op, which is something I wanted from like day one. And then Eating Crafter is also co-op, and it's a lot of fun. I have like all the vehicles and stuff, and it's like Planet Crafter, but you can like level the ground and build like roads, and yeah, it's kind of cool. Am I doing an election live stream? Oh, no. No. I think on election day, I'm just going to kind of lay low, because everyone's like, and this is nothing against you guys. You guys are amazing. People are really on pins and needles on election night. He won't stop staring. All right, sit. You guys can't see this. Shake. Speak. There you go. Good boy. Ring. Shake. All right, turn around. You guys can't see her, but she just spun in a little circle. All right, good puppies. Here, you want one more, fat boy? You want one more? And Rain got one more. Golf is the greatest reason to drink. You know, you're not wrong. It pretty much is. XCOM 2 is pretty legit and only costs $17.99. What is XCOM 2? I do like menial games, like doing nothing. I love that. I love doing nothing. Would Area 51 be a good character because my friend wants it? Wants Area 51? Maybe. Mirandy Griffin, what's up? Can I make an F4 Phantom character? There is, in the future, I do plan on doing like some historical spin-offs and stuff like that. RuneScape, I will never touch RuneScape. Sorry, man. I can appreciate an art style of a video game. Like, I appreciate Fortnite. I'll never play it. I appreciate Minecraft. I'll never play it. Okay. My feed just froze. Never mind. Okay, sorry. Let me see what we got here. OSINT Defender reports that both the headquarters and the barracks of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, have reportedly been targeted by Israeli strikes on the Iranian capital of Tehran. Look, people getting, bombed is not a good thing. It doesn't even matter if they're your enemy. But what I find really funny is for the last week on Twitter, there has been pro-Iranian channels talking about how great their air defense is. I'm just saying. I mean, it looks like they're actually hitting targets and not just hitting randomly. Like Iran, they had a lot of missiles and things just hit randomly. Didn't really hit anything of worth. So, which for me as an air defender doesn't even give me an ability to gauge if their air defense is working. Like the Israeli air defense, because I can't, if nothing hits anything of value, I can't tell you if the air defense system worked or not. I can't. There's no way for me to tell. If Iran had hit like important targets in their missile strike, I'd be like, okay, Iron Dome failed, or Arrow failed, or David Sling failed. That makes sense. But nothing of importance was hit. So is that like their missiles are really effective, or they weren't effective and Iran just can't shoot? Like it's so hard to try and gauge that as an air defender. I try and look at things unbiased. Angry Cops is live? Oh, may have to text Rich. YouTube channel named Ghosted did a ghost hunt video. Oh yeah, that's not Show. Well, it's Show's husband and Sav. Sav, I will tell you right now. Sav is one of actually Show and Sav, all those people there. They are some of the most genuine humans you will ever meet in your entire life. Like Sav, when I met her, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected like someone who had their head in the clouds. Look, I'm just being honest with you. There's sometimes I expect that from people. I'm so glad I was wrong. She is one of the most down-to-earth, humble, and genuine human beings I have ever met in my entire life. So is Show and her husband. I want to call him Tweak because that's like how he introduced himself, but I think his name is like Dave. Shit. I'm terrible with names. I know his face. I'd be able to pick him out of a crowd. Terrible with names. But yeah, she is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. One of the wall knockers followed you home. Man, don't be doing that to me. I would have to learn dual streaming, and I bet his OBS is not set up for it. That's true. Tweak from South Park? I don't know. That's what he was just introduced to me as. Phoenix is sending me all these things. So appreciate it, Phoenix. It appears to have been a very limited response by Israel. Okay, so it looks like Israel targeted some surface-to-air missile sites and an air base. Okay, they're saying it's a measured, limited response, which is okay. That's fine. That's good. Or if I was about to just take somebody to Pound Town and I had a limited amount of stealth aircraft, I would use the stealth aircraft to remove anything that could potentially be defensive counter-air, i.e. missiles or planes, also known as a shaping operation. And then I would send them to the Stone Age. So we'll see. This could be just a measured, limited response, or this could be a full bore, like this is a shaping operation. I don't know. Hope I have a great Halloween next week. Thank you so much. I hope I do too. IDF cannot waste their supply of long-range gear. No, it makes sense. Like, I'm just trying to... XCOM 2 is like Risk if turn-based gameplay meant Black Ops, but the enemy is aliens. I don't know if I like turn-based, but I do like real-time strategy, man. There's a new one coming out. I have it on my wish list on Steam. I have another one on my wish list on Steam that I'm really looking forward to called Jump Ship. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. Jump Ship. It's like Sea of Thieves meets like Left 4 Dead, and it's PvE, which is good for me because I'm an old person. The PvP, man, I just can't keep up anymore. So you have a ship, like a spaceship, and you go and do missions, and then you like fly off of the ship with your little backpack, your little jump jets, and you like fight missions, and then you get back on your ship and you upgrade your ship, and like whoever's piloting is fighting. You can work the guns, you can make repairs, put out fires. Like, it's kind of cool. I think it's a really interesting style. But I can't wait for terraforming games to really just keep going, because like I love survival games. Planet Crafter blew my mind. It's a completely different approach to survival. You only get killed by the elements, and everything is about progression. Super cool concept. And then I played Eden Crafters, and I really enjoyed that as well. Halloween video costume idea. A10 dressed up as a computer cyber nerd. Why? I'm confused. This is going to piss off weapons to no end, but A10 is like the furthest thing from a smart aircraft that I think we have in our inventory. A Harrier might be dumber. I'm not sure. And I know Weapons is going to be pissed that I said that. But I like it's pretty like fly by wire, isn't it? It's like it's all just analog as shit. It does its job. The GAO 8's a fucking phenomenal platform. I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm watching for weapons. I'm watching for. A10C has a digital weapon system. Okay, all right. I stand corrected. Do we weapons? Honest question. Do we have a dumber aircraft in the American arsenal? Because I want to see, like, if he can think of a dumber aircraft, then all right, cool. But I mean, like, dumber as in like more analog. The flight controller mechanical, but that's not really a tell. I mean, most of our flight controls are mechanical. Hell, even a Black Hawk is fly-by-wire. Iran's King Reza, that's a hard word to say, Pahlavi, has government in exile and has fled when the Ayatollah took over in 86. The current government falls. He could take it back over. Oh yeah, the Islamic Revolution. F-15C? Really? I'm not being a smartass. An F-15 is a dumber aircraft? Huh. I mean, an F-15C is pretty much just a rocket ship carrying munitions, so that's fair. You wouldn't need a lot of digital systems to do that, but you got to have some level of skill in digital systems to be able to take out a rotary wing with a glide bomb. Like that's still an impressive feat that an F-15 is. I believe that was F-15. I'm almost positive that was F-15. In terms of its inventory management. Okay. Would it be offensive to go as an ICBM dressed as labeled flat Earth? No. Matter of fact, tag me in that shit. I want to see it. That is awesome, Wesley. I'm waiting for one of you other plane nerds to get in here and start telling Weapons he's wrong. F-15 has a radar. Is it true that DARPA flew a Black Hawk remotely? Yes. I actually know one of the guys who was there. They were flying their UAVs when the Black Hawk flew. They did fly it remotely from 300 miles away. They had a pilot like just there for safety purposes, just in case the system failed, he could take control and fly. And they also did a sling load with it. So I think that's really, really cool in terms of like CASEVAC capability, sling load capability, like the logistics support you can do. A Black Hawk isn't really a frontline fighter. I mean, you could put rockets and miniguns and missiles and shit on it, but like being able to have that for like medical and logistics support that is remote, total game changer. Have I seen the F-22 song? Oh, yes, I have. That's from Warrior Shaman. I actually have that one and Legends Never Die, which is the song about the buff, both downloaded on my playlist on Spotify. F-15 is a single seat. The aircraft can be dumb and the pilot is smart. That's fair. Sling load is impressive. The latency on that ship must be low. Yeah, I have no idea. Like they flew it using their Matrix system, and Matrix was all in caps, so I assume it's like an acronym. I couldn't find the acronym. I didn't really try. I just read the article about it. And I was like, okay, Matrix system. I can make jokes about that. Can someone from the Commonwealth citizen join the U.S. Army? I'm not familiar. If you're not a U.S. citizen, so what we used to do is for the U.S. military, we had a program where they could enlist and earn their citizenship, and it was a great program. We had to cancel it. Now, the reason we had to cancel it is because the cartels started sending their people up to the United States to get trained. And it only took a couple of them for us to be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that no more. We canceled that program. The T-51A, that might be, that might be a dumber aircraft. I saw someone said the Sky Warden, and the Sky Warden, like, it's not dumb per se. It's low speed. It's affordable, but I wouldn't say it's dumb. Didn't some of them not get the new radar yet? I don't know. OA1K. Oh, yeah, there's the Sky Warden. Trigger treats. Thunder Screech. I know. I'm trying to get the Thunder Screech. Someone had an idea earlier that I put into my brain and I might use for it. Cool, did you hear that? Sorry, I'm reading. You guys are having great conversations. If I were a fighter pilot aircraft, what would I want to fly the most? The F-22 Raptor. Currently. Currently in our inventory, F-22 Raptor. And the reason why is the F-22, like, you got to be very well trained to fly any combat aircraft. You have to be very well trained, right? Those things can kill you quickly. But, and I'm just getting this secondhand from pilots. There was a guy who was an F-16 pilot for like 10 years, and now he's flying F-22s, and he's like, look, the F-16 is a phenomenal platform. Very, very good at everything that it does. An F-22 makes everything that you can do in the F-16 easy. A mediocre pilot in an F-22 can do maneuvers that you would only see from expert pilots in an F-16 because of like the way it's designed, what it's built to do, and how ease of use it is. And that's why I'd want to fly an F-22. I think that'd be fun. You want to fly an F-15E? Now, if we were like back in the day, you know what? It's crazy. Is it's actually not my favorite aircraft. My favorite aircraft of all time, especially like prop, is the F-4U Corsair. Just because I love a good underdog story. But P-51, it's an iconic piece of American history. Like, little kids see that aircraft and they know it's a P-51. Like, anyone who doesn't even know anything about anything sees that and they know it's a P-51. Like, it's such an iconic piece of American history. I'd love to fly one of those. But yeah. Is apparently capable of Mach 2.9 sprints. God bless America. As we just progress, like, it's interesting that that aircraft are continuing to follow the same path that like cars are. So like Americans in the 80s, when we forgot how to make cars, just so you know, like, I live firmly by that. There's one car that exists from the 80s that I would ever own, and it's a Buick Grand National. It's the only one. Every other car, like Cadillacs, Lincolns, all those other big body cars, like, we found the most efficient way to convert gasoline into noise without the side effect of horsepower. We had a 500 cubic inch engine that had like 119 horsepower. How do you even do that? Like, the fact that we did that was wild. But yeah, like, America forgot how to make cars back in the 1980s. But anyways, nowadays, can you imagine if 40 years ago you came up to somebody and were like, hey, I just bought this car off the showroom floor. It has 840 horsepower. The Demon. They're going to look at you like you're insane. But now that's something that you see. The new ZL1. Yeah, I'm not a huge Chevy guy, but the Corvette, I think it's the ZL1. That thing is like 1,000 wheel horsepower or something, some crazy number. Those are numbers you would only ever see on the drag strip before. And now I just saw a video the other day of some guy on the drag strip in a Honda Civic pushing 2,000 horsepower. How do you deliver that amount of horsepower out of something that small and to the ground without you either popping a wheelie, sending your transmission into orbit, or blowing a piston through the center of the earth? I have no idea. I'd say Patriot is dumber than Aegis and the A-10. Oh, you got jokes, Aegis. Oh, you got jokes. Well, I will say that you're probably right. But I have to integrate with stuff. I have to do things. I have to make tabular entry changes. I know enough about your system to know that I'm in second place. Shut up. But there's more of mine. Fuck you. Gun to my head, what gun do I think of? 1911 A1. Iconic piece of American history. This is the thing, right? 1911, guys. This is a hard thing to hear. I love the 1911. It is a phenomenal piece of American history. But understanding American history and understanding how we've modernized weapons, you also must understand that a modern weapon is better in damn near every single category, right? Okay, so I have a Springfield. I have a Springfield XD45. You put my XD45 next to a 1911. Accuracy, about the same. Weight, about the same. Magazine capacity, 13 rounds out of my Springfield XD, 7 with a high capacity out of a 1911. Both of them 45 caliber. One made of metal rust, the other one composite. Composite doesn't rust, may not be as robust. Like, I love the 1911. I love the 1911. But it's a display piece nowadays. Like, I have my 4570, my Henry repeater. I take it to the range. It's really a display piece. I've always wanted one, so I got one. Have I done anything with the suggestion for the Halloween vid on the P75 Eagle? No, I have not. It did fly? Did I not write down P75 Eagle? I'll put it down here in the corner so I got it. Oh, my chat disconnected for a short period of time and it reconnected. Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up. C5M Galaxy, current dumbest in inventory. Christmas bullet all the time, dumbest for US inventory. You know what's interesting? Is anyone I've ever... Colin, I don't know how to say your name. The only people I've ever heard rave about C5 Galaxies are people who don't work on C5 Galaxies. Like everyone's like, it's so big, it can carry so much. And like everyone who works on them and like, yeah, it's a giant pile of shit. Like... Maybe that's why I don't do army equipment as much as I do planes, because I have no experience with planes, and I think they're awesome. Because like an Abrams, if an Abrams is running, it'll almost never break down. As long as that engine is running and those tracks are moving, there's almost nothing you can do to break that tank. You shut it down, you go to fire it back up, something's broken. It's just like a Patriot radar. You set it up, it'll be perfect, you get everything tuned in, it's all good to go. You pack it up, move it an inch forward, unpack it, something is broken. It's just the way it is. I love my radar. My radar is really, it's a capable, good, solid radar. Just really sucks in the reliability category. That's how I know Russian, like people like, how do you know Russian equipment isn't that good? Because they don't spend the money to maintain it like us, which means that it's probably not as good as ours. Ours is only good because we maintain it so well. And that's why it is good. It has very intricate little tiny parts everywhere inside our damn radar. No one does radars better than the US, which is surprising considering the British invented it. Kind of. I mean, they were the first to have one. But yeah, our radars are really damn good. Vought F8 Crusader. Didn't I look that thing up before? Let me check. I did. Do we still have that in our inventory? We don't have that in our inventory, do we? That's ugly. That reminds me of old, like, Korean MiGs. Ugh, that's ugly. 7 rounds. What? You guys triggering weapons again? Plane left Rapid City, South Dakota going south. Looked like a rocket going northeast. Seen to Sydney. No shit. I love it. I love how fast we're getting in the skies. What's the difference between a Patriot launcher and a VLS, and can Patriot fire different types of missiles like a VLS can? Great question. This is finally something like in my wheelhouse that I'm really well versed in. So, what is the difference between a Patriot launcher and a VLS? So Patriot missiles, PAC-2, PAC-3, and PAC-3 MSE, they each have their own individual canisters. Now, PAC-2 canisters PAC-2 is our largest missile. Doesn't mean it's the best, but it's just the oldest. PAC-2 stands for Patriot Advanced Capability Version 2. It's actually made by Raytheon, the other two are made by Lockheed Martin. You can fit 4 of those missiles on a canister, or on a launcher. Now, the size of those canisters, the diameter, the square canisters, on the PAC-3 missiles, you can fit 4 missiles in each canister. So you have 16 per launcher. Those missiles are slightly smaller. They have attitude adjusters. They're these little tiny booster rockets right behind the warhead. So like if you ever see a picture like slow-mo or anything like that of a PAC-3 firing, you'll see it come out of the canister, and sometimes it looks like it's like burning as it's going up like that. And that's one of the attitude adjusters blowing off to try and turn the missile harder. And then PAC-3 MSE, those are small individual canisters. So like a PAC-3, you can only have a canister of 4. Like you can't like mix and match and like I only want 2 or 3. Unless you fire them, you won't have that. Now PAC-3 MSE, you can put a maximum of 12 on a launcher, and those are stacked 2 by 2 on both sides, 6 tall, or well, 6 tall, 3 tall, 2 each on each, 4 across, 2 each on each side. The VLS, from what I understand about the Mark 41 VLS, is each cell is purpose built for a certain type of missile. Don't know how true that is. I'm just shooting in the dark. Maybe Aegis can probably help us out here. Now, a lot of it comes down to diameter, length. Now, an SM-6, huge fucking missile. So I don't think we have any problem in the length category, because a Patriot missile is about 16 feet long and an SM-6 is, well, all right, let's Google it. Let's Google it. I'm down. Yeah. Well, this is just the 174, which is a shortened version of the SM-6, and it says it's 21 and a half feet long. So we're good there in that category. We're definitely good in that category. I don't know how the thrust works. Now, with Patriot interceptors, I don't know about SM-2s, 3s, and 6s. I don't know. I believe they are... Well, they're radar guided, yes, I know that, but I'm trying to think of, what's the word I'm looking for? Semi-active seekers. Some of them have semi-active seekers. Patriots, some of them have semi-active seekers. PAC-3s and PAC-3 MSEs have semi-active seekers. PAC-2 is guided in the whole way. Now, if it's long enough, if it's wide enough, now you got to make sure it can deal with the amount of thrust. On certain Russian ships, you wouldn't be able to put that on there because they use cold gas generators. You ever see like S-300 missiles, how they like poop, they like shoot out and then all of a sudden they take off? That's a cold gas generator. I don't know if any of the Aegis missiles do that. The ones that I've seen have been burning the entire time, like not cold gas generators. I know on Russian ships, they use cold gas generators as well. So then you got to iron that out. And then you have to change the uplink of the missile. So the missile doesn't know where it is because you have to tell it where it is. So the missile comes out. There's a certain amount of time, can't tell you what time. The missile goes, hey, I'm here, I'm a missile. And the radar goes, hi, I see you, missile. I'm a radar. I'm right here. You're right here. You need to go this way. And the missile goes, cool. Sometimes you can see this in really like older videos. There's been Patriot missiles that come out and they're like waiting for that uplink and they'll do like a backflip and then they'll take off. It's kind of a cool thing. It doesn't do it anymore. That's also referred to as the initial turn. But anyways, Patriot is a C-band radar. Aegis, X-band, I believe. I'm almost positive X-band. Tippy 2 is X-band. SBX is X-band. LRDR is G-band. Sentinel is S-band. I'm almost positive it's X-band. The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. Yep. So tells it where it is and it says go this way. And the entire time that radar is looking at the target and telling the missile turn this way, make a small adjustment. All right, go up, go down. And then there comes a certain point in time. This is commonly referred to as pit bull. This happens with air-to-air missiles as well, where the radar lets go of the target. The missile itself, like, this is my target. I know this is my target. It locks on and it's like, boom, I'm going to go smoke you. So once we figure out all those problems, yeah, absolutely. Should be able to fire it out of there. Sorry, my missiletism way took over. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see here. Iran was attacked. I know. I'm waiting on more details. I did talk about it a little bit. So you bought your Halloween candy. Now make Kit Kat lasagna. I would love to. Guys, I've been on this diet going on 3 weeks now. I'm down from 246 pounds because I put on some poundage. During the summertime, I was just traveling a lot and eating like garbage. I'm down to 238 now in like 2 weeks. So pretty happy about that. But it sucks. I do not like this diet. So this is my Friday night. I had a couple of beers earlier. It was really nice. Franklin's been fucking up your lawn. So you bought, sorry. But yeah, I've seen the Kit Kat lasagna. I would love it. At least one bite. I would love it. Iran is now in the find out stage. I'm really curious to see. So this is an interesting position to be in between Iran and Israel. And honestly, I feel bad for both of them. Iran was in a position that they had to attack Israel. If they didn't, they would be looked at by their allies as weak. They had to. But they knew if they did too much damage, Uncle Sam was going to show up. And they know for a fact they're going to lose that fight. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like if you fight the United States toe to toe uniform, you're going to fucking lose. Iran knows that. They're not stupid. But then they attacked, and it's like, all right, no one else got involved, so they met their goal. But now Israel was in that same position, like, we have to attack. And if they do attack, like they have, it has to be a measured response, or else the international community is going to have a problem with it, and then they're going to have to answer for it. This could be in the form of Russia, which, whatever. China, I mean, could be a lot of different things. So I really feel bad for both of them in this situation. Do I have a favorite assault rifle? AR-10, does that count? I like the AR-10. That thing minces steel plates. Nice. The only reason I like the AR-10 is because when I was deployed to Afghanistan, I had an M14 EBR with a Leopold Mark IV scope. I love that rifle. I got real comfortable with the 308, real comfortable with that type of round, 170 match grade. I got real comfortable with the ballistics of that, and I think an AR-10 would be kind of cool. And maybe I'll buy one someday. Watching the Dodger versus Yankees game. Oh, you're a Dodgers fan. I used to be a Rockies fan. On the CRV-7 70mm rockets. I don't know anything about them, Terrence. I'm so sorry. Have I ever lost anything important and/or important? The turret monster. That is a blast from the past. Holy shit. Okay. For those of you who don't know what Strigan Kid is talking about, the Abrams, inside the turret, you have a metal floor. Underneath that metal floor is a whole bunch of pipes and other stuff like that, and that's also referred to as the sub-turret. There's gaps in certain things for equipment, and then especially when you get into an Abrams, if you have your cell phone in your pocket, you don't get in through like the driver's hatch, you get in through the top of the turret, and then you crawl into the driver's hatch. That's how you get in. Very often, cell phones, keys, watches, wallets will fall into the sub-turret, and you will never retrieve them. There's nothing you can do except for remove the entire turret, and you won't do that. Like, I think I lost a pair of headphones in the sub-turret to the turret monster once. I did. I knew a guy who lost his cell phone down there. I never lost my cell phone down there. I was always like, when I had my Nomex on, I would, like, right as I was about to get in the driver's hold, I was always like, bing, nope, pull it out of my hip pocket, put it in my breast pocket, zip it closed, like, not losing a cell phone today, baby. Yeah. Oh, man, that took me back. The turret monster. Did your previous super chat go through? I thought so. I'm trying to catch up here, man. I'm sorry if I'm getting to him kind of slow. Have I heard of the new Leonidas drone killer system? I have not. New. I don't know if I've heard of it being called that, but that sounds like HPM. They just stood up an IFPIC battalion. IFPIC stands for Improved Fire Protection Capability, I think. It's been a little while since I read the acronym. And IFPIC, their job is they're going to be a divisional asset and go to different units and help them with their defense. And they're getting control of, obviously, IFPIC, which is a new system we have coming online. They're getting directed energy MSHORAD, I think. They're getting IBCS, and then they're getting high power microwave. That might be the Leonidas thing you're talking about. I'm not sure. I have no experience with it. When you have to make a PowerPoint presentation on why modern gun is better than one made over 100 years ago, maybe the 100-year-old one is not that bad. You must be a Colt 45 guy, an old 1911 guy. No hate. You do the Jas Gripen is my favorite fighter, but the B1 is my favorite non-fighter aircraft. I need to do more foreign fighter aircraft. That's on my list. Am I taking questions on Discord tonight? Nah, not tonight, guys. Kind of hard to keep up with. Do I like the Jas Gripen? I don't know enough about the Gripen to make a reference. I do love the Eurofighter Typhoon. It's a beautiful, beautiful platform. I love a good Delta Wing. There's something about it. Maybe that's why I like the F-22 so much. Have you guys ever looked at it? Like a picture of the F-22? If you kind of just like cut off the back part of the, help me out here, weapons, the ones that go up and down on the backside, not those ones. Whatever the hell. If you like kind of shorten that a little bit, it's pretty much a Delta Wing. Not as bad as the YF-23, but still. Can I talk about when Iran shot down the airliner in 2020? Which one are we talking about? Because I feel like Iran has shot down a few of them. No, that actually might have been Russia. I got to refresh my memory here. Yeah, they shot down a Ukrainian civilian jet. I don't remember ever hearing about this one. Let me look into this a little bit, Michelle. I don't remember reading about that. Damn, Wolfram's on top of it. By the time I get to it, I see deleted message. You're late for the party? It's okay. Can I do a USA versus the world, but put two random countries against each other? I do got some different things coming. I realize like that I kind of restated the same thing over and over and over. So I do have some different things coming. Don't worry, I got you. Call me weird. I love the replacement for the B2 Spirit. You're talking about the B21? There are things I like about the B21. The B2 is Knox, that was my cup holder. Fine. You get a cookie. Come on, come and get it. Come on. You want to say hi to the camera? Here, Rain, you get one. We're going to see what Knox does. Come here, Knox. All right, okay. Oh, Rain, you get one more, sorry. I like the B-21 for some reasons, but the B-2 will always be an iconic piece of American history. I mean, it was the world's first stealth bomber. So many people, while they were testing it, were reporting seeing UFOs. I love every part of that. I love everything about it. It's just, again, it's an iconic piece of American history. The B-21 is better with costs. It's better with maintenance. It's modular capabilities. It's smaller. We can produce more of them. Like it's a good aircraft. Like, I mean, saying you like it more, I don't think it's a hot take. F-117 was first. Well, yes, but F-117 was, I mean, it was technically a fighter. We just used it as a bomber because that was the only stealth aircraft in the world that existed. So, I mean, I can see it there. We did use it as a bomber a lot. Let me see. All right. Opinion on the less known Soviet SAM, the 9K-33 OSA and the Krug. I remember looking into the OSA. Let me double check on that one. I recognize the OSA, but I'm not familiar with the Krug. Ah, there we go. Yep, I remember that. I'm great with pictures. Like when I get a picture, I'm like, yep, I remember this thing. There's good and bad. I mean, it's a small modular air defense system, so there's some benefit there. It has an onboard radar, good benefit there as well. I think it's ugly as sin. Just honestly, I don't think Russia makes very good looking, like, I mean, let's just forget all the lack of capabilities. It's just they don't make good looking air defense systems. And for a little while, I tried like giving the Buck M2 like kind of a, maybe. It's just ugly. I'm sorry, like the radar face looks like a boob. Like it's just not good. So I don't know too much about the OSA's capabilities. Let me check out the 2K11 Krug. Huh. It's a Soviet era. That's an interesting looking air defense system. I have never seen this thing before in my life. Looks like someone shrunk down weird ass booster rockets and strapped them to the side of a missile. Here, I'll show you guys this. Why is it not pulling up my main screen? I don't know why it's not pulling up my main screen. Sorry. Yeah, just look up the 2K11 Krug. It's a very interesting looking air defense system. Would I fly backseat in an EA-18G? I would. There was a guy, he's on my Instagram, and he's right down the road, and he wants to take me up in a T-38. Look, if you're a pilot and you can take me on a ride, yes. The answer is yes. 100% yes. I would go up. I would scream, cry the entire time. I would bitch out, maybe piss myself, probably vomit. I know this. This is all very well within the realm of possibility of things that HLC are going to do. But I think it'd be awesome. Just being real with you. Did Fritz... No, Fritz, he's not in here tonight. He has not shit in here. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Somebody said the I remember reading it. It was F-117 was an attack aircraft, not a fighter or a bomber. That's, I mean, okay. But what I will tell you, my counterpoint to that is the F, I don't know what the F stands for, but they use the same designation on the F-15. Now the F-15 could also be considered a strike aircraft. We use it for, bombing. We use it for strikes, but it's also a hell of a fighter. So I don't know. I agree to disagree. Weapons is gonna lose his mind. Keep reading. What am I reading? When my missiletism hits, my whole attitude changes. I like missiles. I'm like that kid. The whole like, I like turtles. That's me. C stands for cargo. KC is fuel. B stands for bomber. F stands for fighter. Okay. See, what types of puppies are they? So Knox is part Australian Shepherd and part American Pit Bull or American Staffordshire Terrier. And part booze hound. That dog will drink every drop of alcohol you offer him. I love Knox. He's 10 years old now. He's my best buddy. Like, he's been my best buddy since he was a puppy. He's my dude. Look, in hindsight, I shouldn't have done this, but the night before he got the old snip, I got him drunk. We sat there drinking beers together, and I learned that I would then limit him to only 3 beers, because the first beer, he got a big burst of energy. The second one, he kind of wanted to chill out. The third one, he started running into walls, and the fourth one, he fell down. I don't know if you know this, but dogs can blush. At least I thought he did. He looked up at me like, "Dad, I'm sorry," and just lifted his leg while laying on the floor and just pissed all over himself. I felt so bad for the guy. It wasn't like one after the other. There was time in between. And then Rain, she is a rat terrier and lab mix. The professor, I'm far from the professor. Looks like the kind of Sam Grew would build. Ever see pictures of a kid's aborted brother, the FB-22? The FB-22. I've never even heard of this thing. I've heard of the YF-23. People always put it in the same thing as him, but... Hot take, but I kind of fucking like it. And maybe it's because this is like a full-on Delta wing, but like the swept wing design one looks pretty cool. The one that looks like they're just triangles sticking out, not a fan of that version. But it's not bad. I like it. Thank you. You have a good weekend too, Archangel. Oh no, I gotta scroll up. I did it again. What is your on weapons 175 thoughts on the Alpha 29 Super Tucano light attack aircraft made by Brazil? Oh, I've seen those actually in use. I was up at Camp Grayling during Operation Northern Strike, and they were using those for training. I think they're cool. I mean, there's something to be said if it's the one I'm thinking of. Prop aircraft, right? Yep. It's cool. It's interesting, man. Like, because you see like prop aircraft in like American or old prop aircraft, and they're like painted like super cool. And to see them in like navy gray, it's kind of like, why is that still existing today? But I think it's really cool, man. Interesting theory, I guess. Or not theory, interesting take. Real question, Popeyes or churches? Popeyes all day long. You talk about Israel. I did read up on it a little bit. Haven't really gotten too far into it. Let me see if we got any more information from Phoenix. He's been on top of this. Let me go check out OSINT Defender again, see if he's got any new stuff. Okay, so President Biden has been briefed about it. He's at home right now and has not, he won't be returning to the White House tonight. Okay. Five minutes ago, they're saying there was no attacks. That's what they're claiming. The Iranian-based Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps associated Tasnim News agency is now claiming there were no attacks against military sites in or around Tehran, and that all the explosions heard were just air defenses. This is despite almost all other Iranian media claiming that several bases were targeted. And Israel said that strikes were ongoing. And this is the thing. So, like, okay, if you're going to strike Iran, that's a pretty long way. You're going to need to refuel. They have a very limited number of refuelers. They don't, like, Israel has missiles, but they're usually, like, air to surface. Like, they look at it like America. They're short-range cruise missiles, air to surface, some shorter surface to surface. But, like, we don't throw a lot of money into ballistic missiles like the enemy does. The enemies, they throw a shit ton of money into, like, ballistic missiles because they think ballistic missiles are the savior. I don't know. Someone said, how the fuck would an F-117 deploy an AIM-9? Very carefully? I have no idea. Did the F-117 have external hardpoints? I don't think it did. Trying to catch up here. War Talk is the best channel for talking about weapon systems. That it is. Want tickets to Seattle's Museum of Flight? Got a buff? I will get my own tickets, but I did not know there was a Museum of Flight in Seattle. Look, from what I've been told about Seattle is it's currently a cesspool, so I'm kind of scared to even go near Seattle, but maybe I'll take like a train or something. I don't know. F-117 and F-15E are in War Thunder now. Su-34 too. Huh. I wonder how they're going to do the F-117. Like, I'm kind of curious. I see Israel flying over Tehran. Iranian air defense must really suck. I don't know. Like, if it was ballistic missiles, I'd be like, okay, you know, they did the same thing that Iran did. But I don't know if Israel has that capability. Israel versus Iran war, Ace Combat, IRL, let's go. Oh, man. Somebody asked about the Jackal. I haven't read up on that missile yet, but I need to. I'm kind of curious about it. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to yawn in y'all's face. I'm an old man. Iran was bombing U.S. bases in 2020. Well, see, like, can we say it was Iran? I'm not being a smartass, Michelle. Because Iran, they figured out the cheat code. If they attack the U.S. directly, we give them a proportional response. They've learned that. So they've started throwing money into terrorist organizations. They throw money and weapons at the terrorist organizations. The terrorists attack the U.S. and their allies. They get a response. Iran stays scot-free. So I know the tensions between us were really big in that time, but I don't know. Yeah, they could have been told to shoot down anything because they were afraid. Because wasn't it in 2013 an F-22 punked them? It was 2013, I think it was. I know they punked them, but I can't remember what year it was. Is it the maybe I'm thinking of a different Jackal. Let me check out. Okay, no, I was thinking of the new missile that Northrop Grumman just came out with. It's called the Jackal. I don't know enough about it. I mean, it looks cool. Is that pretty much a Scar? It looks like kind of like a Scar. Look, man. I mean, yes, I would love to own one. I just don't know if I'd ever buy one. It looks cool. I don't know, like Balake. Love the name, by the way. I don't know if it's I don't know hardly anything about firearms. Like I know missiles and like tanks and shit. Like that's what I normally focus on. So I'm not really well versed in a lot of those things. P-38 Lightning or F-7F Tiger Cat. In a fight, the F-7F, but in a like which one I think is better, P-38. Seattle sucks. Went there to pick up KC-46s off the production line. You aren't missing much. I just got to get up there for my little sister. Why has Franklin been neglected? I know. I need, maybe that's what I'll do. It's not Iran, it's Iran, like email or Corvette E-Ray. No, it's whatever I feel like calling it. Sorry, I'm just being a smartass. I ran so far away, couldn't get away. I love it. They have a Blackbird at the Air Zoo in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Now I kind of want to go up there. I have a brother that lives he lives in Detroit, well outside of Detroit. Clinton Township? Is that right? Oh, ever look at the F-32? Yes, I've seen the F-32. It's awful looking. Like, if I was at a company, I don't care if that is the best and most capable air platform in the world. And this is my whole I guess you could compare me to Aladdin. It needs to be pointy. Like, I get it, cool. But a thing, if I was the CEO of a company and somebody came in and is like, this thing, it's going to break the capabilities. It turns better. It carries more. It has better radar, like everything. Every category you could think of, it's better. And then they showed me a picture of that. I'd be like, you're fired. I can't do it, man. I can't. Favorite adversarial aircraft. Ooh, good call. Su-34. It's just, it's a good looking, it looks aggressive. It really does. When you look at it, I think I answered this in another stream, might have been last week. Su-34, it looks like an aggressive aircraft. Because I remember when somebody asked, I was like, J-10s, J-20's a joke. Canards are gay, as the kid says. I started kind of just looking through all of it, and I was like, the Su-34 is a pretty damn good looking aircraft. It's a really damn good looking aircraft. Definitely better than the Su-57. I think the Su-57, it was an attempt. And 30 years ago, might have been decent. It's just not now. The F-82, is that the Sabre? Oh, no, it's the Twin Mustang. I don't know, America, we just be building shit. That's what I love about the United States, is we're just what if? Everyone else is we can't afford to waste money on that project or that contract, and America's just But what if it's really cool? That's just the way the United States looks at things. There's no, I cannot think of it. Maybe aircraft survivability? If one of the pilots is killed, the other one can still land the aircraft? I don't know. What they were thinking of with the F-82, I have no idea. The J-20 is a joke. It really is. Canards are gay. The flankers, yeah, it's a good looking aircraft. Tucson, Arizona has the Prima Air and Space Museum and is trying to add a ground vehicle museum next door. You know, when I'm out, I will not be too far from Arizona, and I would very much enjoy doing that. I would very much like to do that. I would also like to. Oh man, where's the National Air Museum? Is it in Ohio? Wherever that one is, I want to go to that one. I've done the one, the Space Museum in Huntsville, Alabama. Top tier. If you guys get a chance to, go to it. It's beautiful. Honestly, they have 2 full-size Saturn V rockets in there. One of them laying on its side inside of an entire building, and the other one standing up. Top tier. Really, really cool. There's a cockpit audio of a Su-34 evading Patriot batteries in Ukraine. So this is the thing, Chris. I'm not trying to be a smartass. I don't know how. There's a couple of things there. I watched it, and well, I heard the audio. I heard an RWR. He claimed several times it's Patriot, it's Patriot, it's Patriot. I personally don't know of a single RWR that will be able to identify that something is specifically Patriot. Now, he could have said that, hey, he's being detected by a C-band radar and known that the only C-band radar in the area would have been a Patriot sensor. Very possible. But it's also those missiles, unless you detect them coming at you, you don't know they're coming. There's nothing in the system that shifts. There's nothing in the system that changes. You are irradiated, you know you're detected by a radar, and then suddenly a missile comes through the top of your cockpit. I'm not being a smartass. Like, and this is why I tend to believe it's bullshit, because I don't speak Russian, so I don't even know if the translation was any good. And secondly, we've lost 3 friendly pilots to Patriot. One of them was an F-18 fighter pilot, very capable, very competent. He died. The other 2 were in a British Tornado. I say Tornado just because it makes people upset. British Tornado, they were both in that aircraft, both very capable, both very competent. Both of them never knew anything was coming. They just immediately were gone. Never had a chance to do anything. So that's what kind of leads me to believe that maybe not. I did hear from a pilot and a friendly pilot that when you are interrogated by Patriot on his interrogator, which is American made in an American aircraft, there is a Patriot Light. I don't know if Russia has that capability. So there was just too limited information. I didn't want to combat something that I didn't know was true or not. IFF fills are a thing. Okay, so here's the thing. Stay with me. When I get a return, and your guys could be completely different. When I get a return on IFF from a track, all I get is that it's valid or invalid. And valid on what channels? Mode 1, Mode 3, Mode 5, Mode 4, whatever. I just get a valid or invalid. I don't. Now, if it's a civilian airliner, oftentimes they'll have their airline number in their IFF codes, so that way I get that as well. But I don't get any information about what kind of air track that is. I have to figure out what it is based off of, is it abiding by air corridors and a myriad of other things that I'm not sure I can reveal. I'm not being a smartass. More Preston Stewart collabs? Sooner or later, yes. If you make it up to Kalamazoo for the Air Zoo, I'd love to meet you guys. If I do a trip up to like an air zoo or an air museum, I will absolutely announce that I'm going there, so that way people can be like, oh shit, hey, I'll come say hi. Any plans for the Eurofighter Typhoon to show up on my buff F-22 bits? I've used the Eurofighter once before. I need to use it again. It's just in that one, the Eurofighter had the ability, like there was something going on with the Eurofighter. They had just done a, what is it called? They'd intercepted some Russian aircraft. I knew pilots in their unit and they radioed the Patriots lock. They did. Look, man, to an Army captain, not being a smartass. I'm getting this information secondhand from air defenders who were there. Like I'm giving you what I got. I know for a fact that those Patriot units were in knockdown. I did speak with one of the pilots who was there that night, and he was the one who told me about the little Patriot Light. The pilot who was his wingman, put in a scram call to, like, you know, well, what he's not ceasefire, it's something else, it's another brevity. After Juice was hit, he called it in when his wingman was hit, but I don't know any more details. Like when something like that happens, the Navy and the Army both go, it's your fault. And they want to blame somebody. They want to point the finger at someone. So both of them did the best they could about, like, burying that as deep as they could. I'm not saying you're right or I'm right. This is where I get my information from. You get my freaks? Huh. Learn something new. So, you know, okay, I want to ask Weapons, because I don't know. If you get my freaks when I interrogate you, how? And I'm not being a smartass, because, like, what I'm getting, obviously I have an IFF bar, I IFF a target. Now that IFF, maybe your system knows what band it comes from, but my IFF codes are the spins codes for the Arabian Gulf, right? The Arabian Gulf spins puts out what your codes are at the right time, compass rose or KA63, and then of course you get your ComSec codes, you load those in, and for my system at the time it was a KIV 77 and now it's a KIV 5 or KIV 7. It's just a piece of hardware. It's used to be called an air defense interrogator. You just put the codes in there, and then when I hit IFF, it blasts out. It's like a challenge and password. So I just want to know, like, how the fuck does that, I mean, you probably can't tell me right now, but, like, how the fuck does that work? Because, like, I would really like to get responses of aircraft telling me what the fuck they are. I would really like that capability, because I don't know shit. I know valid, invalid, or there's a couple other ones, valid, ambiguous, invalid, ambiguous, fuck. Oh man, I could not pass a table 4 right now. What car do I drive? Guessing Tahoe. I do not drive a Tahoe. I drive a 2015 Ram 1500 on a 6-inch lift and 35s. Just saying. I know what it says. I'm aware. There's no shame in my game. Is anyone crazy enough to drop a mini sun? I don't know. I know that if it happens, it's probably because somebody got backed into a corner. Just unclass the system IDs, the radar type, and the threat level strength. Huh. It doesn't really know where you are. So you can tell what the hell interrogates you, but you have no idea where the hell I am? That's weird, because I know exactly where you are, but I can't tell what the fuck you are. That's bullshit. We need to come together and figure this out, man. Nice car, dismiss the feminist nonsense. Hey, nah, it's all good, man. Just direction. Okay, so it's kind of like when I get a jammer strobe. That's why, so fun fact about jammers, right? Jammers are limited by the amount of power that it can output. You can provide a lot of power on the ground, but making a lot of power fly, very hard to do. That's why the Growler is so fucking terrifying. But if you have more sensors in an area, and those sensors are on different frequency bands to avoid, like, side lobe interference or anything like that, it's really hard to jam all those frequency bands. So what happens is like, all the radars that are getting jammed, they know they're getting jammed. Something out there is getting jammed, but let's say they're all in different locations. They're like, something in this direction is jamming me. And then somebody who's looking at all of those air pictures goes, yeah, jammer's right there. It's triangulation. Yeah, jammer's right there. This person has it jammed, at their third baseline. This one has it on their first baseline. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, we know where the jammer is. So that's why jamming is a lot harder with a saturated sensor environment. Now, there is jammers out there that just will completely fuck your shit up, no matter how many sensors you have. As far as I know, all of them belong to us. Well, I guess best it can. Okay. We're all on a watch list. Yeah, I'm waiting for, like, just the FBI to knock on my door. Stellantis product EU, gross brother. Why would you buy France? Did FCA belong to Peugeot in 2015? I've been a Ram guy like my whole life. I've been a Mopar, but obviously Mopar is not in the U.S. anymore. Can't the F-35 do jamming? Yes. The F-35 can jam, the F-22 can jam. Like, all of our aircraft in some aspect have electronic warfare capability. Hell, even the B-52. And the upgrade it's getting is like increasing its counter electronic suite. Like, I don't know what that even means. A-10 can jam? I did not know that. I did not know that. That's actually, I learned something new tonight. It would be funny as hell, Mrs. HLC were to knock on the door. Well, we are at our 2-hour mark, folks. We're actually a little over 2 hours, but I was really enjoying the conversation. So, I will not be here next Friday. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I have some other things going on, but you will see those as well. So, as always, do not give in to the 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. If you would like to support the channel, please go to habituallinecrosser.com. Go ahead and check out our merch. I have new stuff coming. Trust me. I will see you guys the week after next Friday. Have yourself a happy and safe Halloween. Later, guys.